This hand trap literally never saw any play since its release, and there's a good reason why. What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. Today I will try to cause another another card review, sorry, on the card Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. So what is it? When did it come out? Who cares about that? It's another one of the Ghost Sisters, this time representing the Wind attribute. And is it good or not? Is it bad? Well, in this video I'm going to try to analyze it as much as I possibly can. But before we get into any of the analysis, make sure you like and subscribe. It motivates me so much to just keep existing. And let's get right into it. So as I said, it's the Wind attribute Ghost Sister, and it reads, if your opponent special summons a monsters face up except during the damage step, you can discard this card, then target one of those face up monsters, negate its effects, until the end of the turn. Also, if that face up monster leaves the field this turn, its controller takes damage equal to its original attack. You can only use this effect of Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill once per turn. So at first glance, everybody's going to read this and just thinks that it's a weaker version of Infinite Impermanence and Effect Veiler, and to a certain extent you are definitely right, but there's also much more to consider when you analyze cards. The fact that it's once per turn, it only negates special summoned effect monsters, kind of a few turn-offs, but what is really good about the card? Well, before we get into any of the positive aspects, I'm also going to review every other negative aspects of the card first. So yeah, imagine if you draw this against Flunderies. The deck doesn't special summon, so you can only negate special summoned effect monsters with Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill, but they only normal summon and tribute summon, so it's just Merry Christmas for you. If you main deck this card in a format where Flunderies exist, you're going to be screwed. The most massive turnoff with this card is the fact that it's treated as a trigger effect in the TCG, and in the OCG, it's a quick effect, you freaking lucky bastards. The reason why it matters is because it doesn't interact the same way it would against certain cards. For example, if I'm playing against Tri-Brigade, while I'm going second, they go for Revolt, and then they summon their Ominous Omen. In the TCG, unfortunately, since I'm the turn player, when I play on my own turn, obviously, kind of, my opponent would, summon the Omen, and then I would have to trigger the Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. I would have to activate the card first, since, as I said, I'm the turn player, and then my opponent gets to activate all of, his trigger effects right after I went for mine. So in other words, Ghost Mourner is going to be activated in Chainlink 1, and then the Ominous Omen and the Nerval and the Kid whatever are going to be Chainlink 2, 3, 4, whatever, and by the time my Ghost Mourner resolves, it doesn't matter anymore because the Ominous Omen already resolves. This means that my card got banished and I'm probably going to lose. In the OCG, it's completely different since Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill is a quick effect, meaning that you get to wait until every single trigger effect has successfully activated, not resolved, activated, and then you can activate your own quick effect, meaning that the quick effect is activated last, which means that it resolves first. If you understand what I'm trying to say, if it's too complicated, then go back to kindergarten or just watch beginner videos. But yeah, you just have so much more freedom with the card in the OCG, and it's kind of the same thing with Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. However, in the OCG, Cyber Dragon Fear is actually way worse, because this time you actually want to chain block your core, meaning that you want the Cyber Dragon Fear to be trigger effect instead of quick effect. So at the same time, we can't always have everything. Sometimes the OCG is gonna have it better, sometimes the TCG is gonna have it better, and I just kind of like inconsistencies in rulings and just, in regions. Sometimes even in the TCG, cards in Europe didn't function the same way as they did in like America. Like the Ben 10 with DD Crow ruling, I can't believe they almost played a whole remote duel YCS with a completely objectively incorrect ruling, but you get the point that I'm trying to portray here. With all those negative aspects out of the way, what are the good things to talk about with Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill? There are actually a few. First of all, this card can randomly give you a cheese win on game 3 when time is actually a factor, because it randomly has an effect that inflicts damage. So when your opponent's monster that is affected by Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill leaves the field, so that includes like being sent to the grave, I think returned back to the hand, banished face up. I just don't think banished face down and being underneath an Xyz material work, but I could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, definitely let me know in the comment section below. If the monster leaves the field, you're just gonna take damage equal to its attack, and this could influence your opponent's play. So let's just say you're on game 3 where there's like barely any time left in the round. You can use this against the Tri-Brigade Link 2 that they summon, the Bear Broom. If they do link off off the Bear Bloom, they're going to unfortunately take, well, unfortunately for them, take like 1600 damage or something, and then you can just, yeah, you just wait in time. Don't cheat though. So yeah, imagine a monster that has like 4000 attack and doesn't really do anything outside of just being used as a link material. You just go Ghost Mourner, boom, you take 4k, Merry Christmas, and then I just draw anything and then I kill you and then you die. But yeah, this also doesn't have a Sent to the Graveyard clause, which is kind of relevant because Effect Veiler did have one. So if your opponent had Herald of Arclight on the field, since every card from the hand or main deck gets banished instead of being sent to the grave, you couldn't use Effect Veiler. So sometimes you had like 5 hand traps in your hand. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but you get the point. Sometimes you would have a lot of hand traps in your hand, including Veiler, DD Crow. You can use any of them, but Ghost Mourner you can because it says discard, which again isn't the most relevant thing in the world, but it can come up, especially when people play Dimension Shifter, Macrocosmos, D-Fisher, etc. Also, I'm not gonna lie, this card does still have a lot of value against monsters that are summoned on your own turn if they are mandatory effects, such as Artifact Scythe and technically Artifact Moreltech, but nobody plays this card anymore. Artifact Scythe is a mandatory effect, meaning that it always trigger in Chainlink 1, and then obviously your monster Ghost Mourner is still a trigger effect, but this time it's, you know, it's not a mandatory, so you can use it on Chainlink 2, meaning that the Scythe will get negated. So this card kind of acts as a Forbidden Chalice or Ash on Sanctum, if you will. In conclusion, is this card even worth playing? The answer is very simple. It depends. So if you're playing literally no hand trap and you only consider Ghost Mourner as your only hand trap, absolutely not. There are so many hand traps that do a much better job, and the proof is that literally nobody is playing 6 hand traps, including Ghost Mourner. When people are playing Ghost Mourner, typically in their deck, it's because they're also playing 3 Veiler and 3 Imperm, so they're like, you know what, I just want more kind of Veiler-esque cards, and that's the only reason really. In the TCG, I don't really see anyone playing Ghost Mourner. As I said, in the OCG, it's much better because at least it can negate Shuraig the Ominous Omen on your own turn, whereas in the TCG, as I have portrayed it, you cannot do that. Should you buy this card? Definitely not. I don't think it is a good investment. I also think it's going to get a reprint. It's going to become literally worthless. What I should recommend is probably selling this card if you're holding a few copies of it, and if it is kind of expensive at the moment, I don't know how expensive it is. Regardless, even if it's like $30, just sell it because it's not the most meta impactful card out there. But that's all I had to say for this card review. If you guys have any comments or feedback or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.